wrote down a message that I got from one of my viewer friends, and it inspired this video, and I'm going to read it to you. Thank you so much for joining me. If you haven't been here before, my name is Tracy, and this is an upcycling channel. So Lisa G wrote me a message and said, can you show how to make denim bow jeans? I am in love with those jeans, but not the $500 price. Well, I have seen a few versions of these on TikTok as well, and I love them also. So we're going to give that a shot. I'm starting this project with a thrifted pair of Eddie Bauer men's jeans. And these are a 33 waist, and I'm typically like 29. They don't fall off of me. They're a few inches bigger than what I normally wear, but they are a nice, relaxed sort of boyfriend fit on me. But this project would be really cute with some fitted jeans too. So whatever you like. So let's get to it. On my jeans, I did something a little extra because I wanted them to have more of a flared bottom. So this is the front of the pant leg. I went to the side seam and 1/4 inch over, I cut up 6 inches on both sides. And then I put a little stitch right at the top so that it doesn't rip open any further. And then I washed them and dried them to get them to fray a little bit. Now I just want to make a bunch of bows, and these are just going to be, I'm figuring out it as I go what I like. So the first one, I'm going to start with a piece of denim. I'm doing it on this black leather because this tulle was not showing up on my white table. I want you to be able to see that. So the denim is 6 3/4 inches wide, 4.5 inches tall. And then I took a piece of tulle. Mine is actually from an old wedding veil, and it's approximately 19 inches long, 5 inches tall. And then I cut a piece of embroidery thread about 1 foot long. So I am just going to take my tulle and fold it in half. Now these are just going to be scrappy little bows with frayed edges. You can finish your edges if you want. And then I'm just going to do the whole thing sort of like an accordion, like this. Till it looks like that. And then I'm going to lay it right over the center of this embroidery thread. And I'm going to tie a tight knot just to hold it in place while I work with it. I'm taking another piece of tulle, very jagged, about 4 inches wide, 16 inches long. Now this is fragile because it's really old, so I want to try to tie it on so it has little tails, but I hope it doesn't rip. Now I want to add a little sparkle to the center of that. And I went through a lot of my jewelry stash, and I was making sure to find pieces that I thought would hold up in the laundry. Like I think these would be fine. Pieces of this would be fine. Now things with a lot of rhinestones like this that are glued in, I'm not using because I feel like they will come out. So I am going to use a piece of this necklace, and I am just going to take my wire cutters, snip off a piece. I have a piece of sort of gray blue thread, just doubled and knotted, and I am going to sew this little guy on. Now once that's all sewn, I'm just going to come around the back, and I'm going to sort of triple knot this. Just catch a piece of the back fabric. I'm going to grab my thread there, wrap this around twice, pull And I'm going to do that 2 more times to make sure it's super durable. Okay, for the next bow, I just cut out some rectangles. This is from a quilt. This is from a lacy piece here. This is from a scarf that I thrifted. And some of my pieces I did dye this Rit Dye More Kentucky Sky color on the stovetop. I have lots of videos on how to dye on the stovetop. But if you just find the colors you want, I tried to stay in the blue family. And at the thrift store, scarves, lacy tops, curtains, look for things like that. I look for things with texture and pattern. So first of all, this seems to be fraying a lot. You can finish your edges however you want. I'm just going to sort of burn these edges. Now I'm just going to lay this one, center it this way, put it about halfway up. I'm going to take this one, my English, I'm going to lay it about there. And now I have another piece of embroidery thread already cut and ready. And I'm just going to sort of do that accordion again. I could lay this upside down or however, doesn't really matter to me. Double knot that. Now that's a little big for me, so I think I'm going to trim about maybe 1/2 inch off of each piece here. This is a little piece I cut off this tulle lace. I think I'm going to tie that right in the center. I'm not going to double knot it because I will be sewing a little jewel or some sort on there and it will hold. I have a few pearl type beads just from broken necklaces, and I think I'll sew 3 right in the center there. Now I'm going to take a piece of that wedding veil. It has a little lace and some tulle still attached, and this is one that I did dye. It's about 45 inches long. And then I'm going to take a very thin piece of dark blue ribbon, and it's about 54 inches long. And I'm going to sort of center this on the lace and tie a bow. Okay, I think I like how that looks. I'm just going to trim this up a little bit. Now I have this pretty little heart pendant, and I think I'll just sew that right in the center there. Now the next one, I'm going to start with a scrap of a denim shirt. It's nice and thin. It's about 36 inches long and about 1.5 inches wide. And I'm just going to burn the edges a little bit to get all those little frayed pieces. Now I'm just going to bring these loops in like this. And I probably didn't need 36 inches. I'm sure I'll end up trimming this. And now I think I'll put just a little stitch right here to hold it together. So now I cut a little piece off of this scarf, and I think I'm just going to make a bow with it. And I think I'll sew that right in the center there. I have this cute little key charm. I think I'll sew that in the center of this one. Now I think I'm going to take a piece of denim about like this. And I'm going to make a point. Almost like a little leaf or something. Then I have a little blue piece of lace. I think I'll cut that smaller. A little piece of a hanky. Wad it up a little bit. Another strip of jeans. A long piece of tulle that I'm just going to tie into a bow. Going to lay this on and stitch it right there. Okay, I made 8 bows. I think I'm going to put about 6 on the front and 2 on the back. I was torn whether to put them on the back or not, but I think the ones that don't have a real bulky piece of jewelry in the center, I'll try it in the back. If it's uncomfortable, I can just remove it. So I think I'm going to hang it on a hanger because these will have some drape. And if I lay them out like this, it might be a little deceiving how they'll actually be on the jeans. Okay, I guess I had 9. So this is where I put them on the front. I just stuck a pin on each side of sort of the little knots. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They're not sewn yet, just pinned on. 8, 9. So now I want to get these sewn on. I'm going to sew one with you, and then the rest, I'm just going to go get comfy on my couch and watch TV and sew the rest on, but we'll do one together. I just have a double thread knotted at the bottom. I'm going to have to reach inside here for each bow, and they'll all be sewn maybe a little bit different. Here, maybe I'll do some stitches there, 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 and there. Probably at least 4 spots. Now, if I have a real floppy one, I might come out a little further on the bow in order to get it to lay nicer. You just got to feel each one out as you go. How fun and funky are those? I'll bring it in a second so you can get a closer look. To launder this, I would turn it inside out, wash on a delicate cycle in cold water. You know, I made these bows pretty fast. You can take your time and make them perfect, but they don't, for me, they don't need to be, because that's kind of what the boho kind of casual look is all about. Okay, I want to thank you so much for watching.